Your training should, as you uncover things like, oh, this inefficiency, this thing came up, we had to have this conversation, the system, the SOP should reflect that, because you should never repeat yourself, right? Never repeat yourself. If, which I just did, it's funny. But if you have to tell him once, right, and he learns it, awesome, but you don't document it, then what happens when you hire the next person and they make the same mistake? You have to repeat it. Yeah. And so now think about this. You had the conversation with him. Now you documented it in the system. You updated it. You hire the next guy. You go, hey, let me sit down real quick and run you through my expectations. And I know that these are my expectations because we've learned this in real time. We've tried it other ways and it doesn't work. So here's what does work. Right. So number one is you move quickly with intention, with speed and with quality. Right. Number two is always have your tools right place, right time. And here's what that looks like on a shoot. You need to have your camera, you need to have your lenses, you need to have everything charged and ready to go before you get on the set. Right. And so you go through all those lessons that you've already learned and articulated to the person individually so that the next person gets the benefit of that. Yeah, because that's why people, I think, struggle to build their teams, is because each person, they're having to like retrain them on all the things that they had trained the previous person on, like all of those little conversations, all those mistakes. The next person makes them too. And they're just like, I can't scale this because for each one of these hires, it takes the same amount of time and energy. When realistically, each new hire should require like half as much time. The first hire should take you the most time as you're like learning all these things in real time. The next person should get the benefit of all that time, and that should condense the learning period. The next person gets the benefit of those previous two people, right? And so then you get to the point where you can't get any more benefit. It's like, it's pretty set in stone, and that becomes your new operating system. It's like, this is how we do it. And we know when you do it this way, we can train, we can onboard, train, and retain you quickly with minimal effort. And that's what you're really trying to get to as a business, is like, how do I get to that point where the time it takes to train and onboard somebody is minimal? It's as effective as possible because they're getting all the collective lessons of their predecessors. Retaining is hard because everybody's a little bit different in terms of what motivates them. So it's not just about giving them more money. It could be about giving them more autonomy, giving them more control, giving them more freedom, more community. It could be all sorts of things. So you got to kind of push and pull the levers of that individual. And for one guy on the videography front, it could be like he just wants to create really dope visuals, right? Maybe that's his thing. Or the other guy, he just wants to move up into this other department, or he wants to make more money, right? So you have to figure that part out, and that part's a little bit harder to standardize, right? So that's kind of like getting to know your team, and then giving the correct love language to reinforce the behaviors. When it comes to hiring, it's not like I'm looking at them and saying, what's their core motivating, drive? Because I don't know. Like, they will tell you what their motivating drive is perhaps, and they'll probably be wrong. Right. Like, and so you won't know it when you hire. You'll only figure it out over time. And it's a process of discovery for both you and them. Because a lot of people will come in and they think what they want is money, but then they get one good attaboy and you're like, holy shit, he just like ran through a wall for that thing. Like, he doesn't care about money. He cares about attaboys. Like, cool. Like, but you have to figure that out as you go and not trust that they're going to tell you the right answer. Because like most employees will just default to one of two things. It's like, I want more freedom and control to be able to make the thing how I want to. I don't want to be micromanaged, right? Or I want more money. And it's like, okay. Like, is it though? Is it really? Because like up to a certain point maybe, but then beyond that, and that's the thing, is like you're bringing in people, and ideally what you're doing is, if you have a great system for training, you can bring in B-level talent and pay B-level wages to then level them up to A. So what will happen is, if money was their motivator at this point, well, that will only get them so far. And so like, how do you level them up even beyond that? Because like, if there's a study, and it's not a very good study because I think it was been debunked, but it showed that people's like life satisfaction kind of levels off at around $70,000 of annual income. Beyond that, like, your life doesn't change substantially. I think that's bullshit. But like, the idea is that there is a number where beyond that, people's lives don't materially improve. So the question is, like, if you were to get your person to that level, and that was the thing that motivated them, well, now what motivates them? If that thing is no longer a motivator, then what motivates them? And that should be the thing that you lead with. Like, you should try to get to that thing as soon as possible, because you will ideally hit the upper level of that monetary reimbursement where the person goes, yeah, I'm happy here. Like, this is what I want. But like, more money isn't going to make them materially more happy. Now it's going to be, oh, you want to have more autonomy. You want to have more pursuit of mastery, like whatever the thing is, like, but you have to put in that time to figure it out. And that's hard. And that's why people don't do it.